Welcome everyone. Today we are going to explore the structure and functions of the adrenal glands. Coming to the introduction, first of all we have to know what is adrenal gland. The adrenal glands are the pair of glands which are located at the top of the kidney, hence it is named as the suprarenal gland. And they produce some steroid hormones, and as they are the endocrine glands, the secreted hormones are directly released into the bloodstream, through which it is taken to the target cells or the target organs. These hormones play an essential role in maintaining the homeostasis and managing the stress, as well as regulating various physiological processes. Next is the structure of adrenal gland. The adrenal gland is looking like a triangular shaped gland. There are two adrenal glands which are located at the top of the kidney. They look like a pyramid, and it is the pyramid shaped gland. And these glands are enclosed in a fibrous capsules and a cushion of fat. Even though they are a small size, they are vital for the survival. And they consist of two distinct regions, that is the adrenal cortex and the adrenal medulla. Each are responsible for producing different types of hormones, and their combined activity helps to regulate numerous vital processes like metabolism, even immune response, and blood pressure. First, the outermost region is the adrenal cortex. The adrenal glands are relatively small and even weighing very few grams, and each have a complex internal structures. The outermost region is the adrenal cortex, and the most important region of the adrenal gland. And it is composed of the glandular epithelial cells. It consists of three distinct regions. First one is the zona glomerulosa, next one is the zona fasciculata, and the innermost region is the zona reticularis. The outermost region of the adrenal cortex is the zona glomerulosa, which is composed of a thin layer of columnar cells. They are arranged in an arched pattern. They produces the hormones called the mineralocorticoids, which is otherwise called the aldosterone, which regulate the salt and the water balance. And next to the middle region is the zona fasciculata. It is the thickest zone of this adrenal cortex, which is composed of the columns of secretory cells. They produce the hormones called the glucocorticoids, that is otherwise called cortisols. They, they play a key role in the stress response. That is, they affect the glucose metabolism as well as the immune response. And the innermost region is the zona reticularis, which is composed of the polyhedral cells, and they are arranged in a linear or the round nest or the clump fashion, and they mostly produces the androgen, which are a supplement for the sex hormone production. Next region is the adrenal medulla. The adrenal medulla is surrounded by the adrenal cortex, the inner core, which is derived from the neural crust cells. These adrenal medulla are composed of the neural tissues. It is the part of the sympathetic nervous system. The adrenal medulla consists of the medullary chromaffin cells. These medullary chromaffin cells will synthesize the catecholamines. They consist of the epinephrine, that is otherwise called the adrenaline, or the norepinephrine, which is also called the noradrenaline. These are controlled by the sympathetic nervous system, and these are responsible for the body's immediate stress responses, and which are released during the time of fight and the flight situation. And these hormones will act quickly to increase the heart rate, and also they dilate the airways and redirect the blood flow to the essential organs. Next one is the functions of adrenal glands. First, the functions of adrenal cortex, that is the outermost layer of the adrenal gland. They produce the glucocorticoids, it is also called the cortisol. They regulate the metabolism, especially the glucose metabolism as well as fat and protein metabolism. And they also helps the bodies to respond to the stress and suppress the inflammation and the immune response, and they maintain the blood pressure level. Next one is the mineralocorticoids, examples the aldosterone. They control the sodium and potassium balance, and they regulate the blood volume as well as the blood pressure. They act on the kidney to retain the sodium and excrete the potassium, by which they maintain the sodium potassium balance. Next one is the androgen, that is the adrenal androgen. They act as the precursor for the sex hormones, that is the estrogen and the testosterone hormone. They support the development of the secondary sexual characters, especially in the female. They contribute to the libido, especially in the women. Next, the function of adrenal medulla, that is the innermost region of the adrenal gland. They produce the epinephrine. The epinephrine increase the heart rate as well as the blood pressure rate, and it will dilate the airways and the pupils. They will trigger the fight or the flight response, and they increase the blood glucose for the energy. Next hormone is the norepinephrine. The functions of norepinephrine is that they will involve in the vasoconstriction, that is they constrict the blood vessels, by which they increase or they raise the blood pressure level, and they works with the epinephrine during the stress response. This epinephrine will stimulate the heart as well as the lungs and the metabolic system to increase their performance. Then the norepinephrine will act mainly on the blood vessels, which causing them to constrict, by which they raise the blood pressure. And these hormones are rapidly released in response to the nerve impulse during the time of stress or any danger situation. Thank you.